Greetings, I am Antonio Brown, a fourth-year environmental studies student with a minor in biology. Now I'm here to present you with a series of videos taken by my environmental justice class. Environmental justice is the attack on low-income and minority communities and the disproportionate health effects and exposure to environmental hazards. We showed a series of friends and family, the EJ screen, which depicts the pollution that they live in or around. There are several environmental indicators that can be tested through the EJ screen. You have particulate matter, you have ozone levels, you have national air toxics assessment, you have a Superfund proximity. Superfund are the most polluted sites in America. You have a hazardous waste proximity and a wastewater discharge indicator. We showed each individual an upper class neighborhood as well as their neighborhood to show them the difference.
Good evening, my name is Niles Morrow. I am a FAMU student, major in environmental studies, minor in fine arts. I'm a senior, and today I'll be interviewing James Walker about environmental justice. Can you please tell us about yourself, James?
Well, my name is James. I go to Seminole State College here in Central Florida, and I study telecommunications and also broadcast journalism.
Walker, do you know the definition of environmental justice?
The definition of environmental justice to me is about saving the environment naturally and also try to protect the environment. I believe that's what it means. What does it mean?
The definition of environmental justice is the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income, with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policies.
Wow, that's what it means? Wow. I did not know that. I can be honest and tell you that. I didn't know that. But, that's a good definition on how how the environmental justice has a great definition on what that means. So, yeah, that's amazing.
James, are you aware that in your zip location, which is 32808, that it is 30% ozone, 72% NATA cancer risk, which stands for National Scale Air Toxic Assessment, 77% NATA respiratory risk, 69% lead paint indicator, 89% Superfund proximity, 56% hazardous waste proximity, 91% RMP proximity, which stands for Risk Management Plan, and 40% water waste proximity.
Whoa, that is a lot of that. Water waste proximity? Oh my goodness. Did not know we have a lot of water waste here in my zip code, but this is surprising. This is some surprising result.
How do you feel about that, James?
Like I said, this is surprising, and it's stunning how about the data that what you just represented of where I live, because I've seen places around in my zip code that has so many like toxins.
For documentation purposes, could you please state your name, your age, and your zip code?
Artesia Campbell, 19. My zip code is 33313.
Okay, and what does environmental justice mean to you?
Unfairness within the environment.
Okay, and so after the interview and reviewing the EJ screening and its environmental indicators, based on your zip code 33313, did you know you live within a 90 to 95% of a Superfund site?
No.
How does this make you feel?
Like I'm unaware of my surroundings that I'm living in, paying to live in.
Do you think it's fair that you live in these areas and your friends who went to Terravella or per se Coral Springs High School don't live as close?
No, it's not fair.
Would you have lived in this area if you were aware of this?
No.
Okay, now that you know about the EJ screening, how do you feel about, do you now have a better understanding of environmental justice?
Yes, I don't have any.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. All right. So can I just get your name, your zip code, and your age?
Yes. My name is Kira. I'm 19, and my zip code is 32310.
Okay. And what do you think environment injustice means?
To me, I would say environment injustice is basically us not caring for the environment as we should, or like tending to it as we should.
Okay, yeah, that is correct. So the exact meaning is that environment justice is the fair treatment of all people, regardless of race, origin, their sex. It doesn't matter. Yeah, good. So based on the findings from the EJ screen, were you aware of that you were living in a high level of hazardous waste?
No, I was not aware because it's not like publicly out there as much as everything else is, like STDs and stuff like that. It's not publicly shown. Like, you showed me on the EJ screen. EJ screen. I'm sorry, I messed up.
It's okay. And how does that make you feel? Like, do you think it should be more broadcasted that we need the environment to stay clean and stuff?
Yeah, it makes me feel like, wow, it's like certain things are put out there more than others, and it's like everything is like should be equally important. Like our environment is very important to like worry about, and then like not that it's like it's not out there, it's like who can we go to about it? Like our community should all come together and all want to work to save our environment because it's important.
Right.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I'm 21 years old. I used to live in New York City. The zip code for the area was 10001. And for the first question,
what is environmental injustice to you?
I would say it's like the environmental activists that you see that are always trying to promote and support like the earth, like talk for the earth, I guess you would say. Like trying to be the voice and being like, we need to take care of the environment more often, maybe.
Well, that can be part of it. Those would be environmental injustice activists, I guess you would say. But environmental injustice would be the unfair treatment of people because they live in certain areas. They would more likely to live in Superfund sites and areas where there's hazardous material and all that. But since you said you lived in 1001, so this is her area. Now, are you aware that you live in an area where it's approximately 80 to 90% close to a Superfund site?
No. Well, maybe I assumed that was like super toxic because of a lot of pollution and living in a city and all.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Gross. Like, it makes you not want to live there because it's like super just gross, like toxic. Makes me feel like the air that you're breathing is not like real air. Maybe it's pretty disgusting.
Okay, thank you.
I bought a house in 2002 next to Cascades Park in downtown Tallahassee, and it was already established that it was contaminated and identified, I believe, in the 80s by EPA, and it was almost a Superfund site. I'm not sure if that's an environmental justice issue. To me, it'd be close, but when I moved in, it was already identified, and it was headed towards being redeveloped as a stormwater management system through there. I believe it was almost a Superfund site, but it was not. The state and the county and the city cleaned it up and made a nice park out of it instead of a parking lot.
The purpose of these videos are to bring awareness to our friends and family about potential risks and hazards that they may be or already exposed to. After viewing and comparing these videos, it showed us a level of ignorance displayed in multiple areas, sometimes even in our own backyard nonetheless. The multitude of environmental and even academic issues that the EJ screen displays is alarming and almost saddening when looking at certain areas such as Orlando versus Tallahassee, or New York City versus Fort Lauderdale. These instances bring to light some of the health disparities that Dr. Grad has mentioned in class, such as cancer and even lead pollution.
Like, who the fuck says global warming is not real?